Hello, everybody.
Hi, everyone. This is your favorite grant consultant, Brittney C. And I am here with my very special guest and my girl, Brittney Rich. But before we get into her journey, her story on what she's done in her business, I just want to introduce myself to those people who maybe you looked at social media and you're like, who are these ladies? Who are they? We're about to get into that in a minute, but here's what I do and who I am. I'm Brittney C, your favorite nonprofit strategist and CEO of Write the Vision Plainly LLC. I am a workshop presenter with Gore Houston in my city, Brittany City, our favorite city, Houston, Texas. And I have been grant writing and doing this for 5 going on 6 years, y'all, in December. And what I do is let you know how you can qualify for grant funding at the start, even if you have a low or no budget, because the funding is out there. It's just waiting for you to claim it. But it's like because of the shutdown and all that's going on, I'm pretty sure y'all want to know about that and what's going on with that. I will get to that, but first, I'm gonna let my guest introduce herself. So, Brittany, tell us who you are and what it is that you do.
Hi, everybody. My name is Brittany, further known as South American Brie, and I am the CEO of Keep It Growing All Natural Products. We make soaps and we make the best long hair oil available on the market. So I have been making my own products for over 10 years now. I really do enjoy making products and helping people solve their issues when it comes to hair growth and skincare problems.
Yes, and as a believer of your product, long hair oil, I also you probably can't tell, but I did use your leave-in conditioning spray that you gave me, and
Okay.
I liked it.
Looking good, girl.
I liked it a lot.
Looking good.
But Brittany, let's get into that long hair oil. So, y'all, her long hair oil is the truth. And I am an ambassador for long hair oil. I've been pushing that. Just like I go hard for greens, I go hard for the long hair oil. And again, I know there's a lot of people that might come on here that are on here now that might come on here later. Well, can you get to the skip to the good part? Or okay, Brittany, you know what's going on with this shutdown. Just say that. But I don't have time for that right now on this live, but I will talk about it in another live. And also, Britt, fill you in on some additional information that that's gonna require a phone call outside of this.
Okay.
But my first question for you is what as an entrepreneur, as a woman of God, a woman of integrity, what is your relationship with God?
Well, my relationship with God, that looks like for me is it's almost like a father daughter relationship. And if you kind of think about your father, well, your father corrects you. Not only does he correct you, but he teaches you. And that I like to consider my relationship not just saying that I love the Father and I love Christ, I love Jesus, but I actually like to be a doer of the word. So for me, that's not just a Sunday church session or a Saturday, Sunday church session. It is literally every day of my life. I try to live my life just like Jesus lived his life. He was perfect. I'm not perfect, but I try to live right and I try to do right and I try to be right. So that is
Mm.
what my relationship looks like, being a doer of the word and not just talking, but actually walking it out.
It's not always easy to walk it out. I'm also a believer as well. So when you said that's a relationship like a father and daughter, I agree wholeheartedly because for for girls growing up to mold us into the women that we are to be in the future, we need our fathers for that. Because, when we can kind of, get a little attitude, get beside ourselves and start telling our mom off, all dad do is got to cut us a look and be like, hey, and we be like, yes, sir.
Right.
Mom, I apologize to the utmost. I don't know what happened. I am wrong in this situation. Because at first it's like, hey, no, I ain't doing my mom. I don't have to listen to her. And dad's like, and you're like, mother, I apologize. And I give you the utmost of high regard. My my bad. I didn't
Right.
know what I was doing.
Right. I think that we all have that fear of a father, and it's kind of like with God. We should come before Him with trembling. We fear Him. So I definitely can relate to what you're saying because I know I was always a bit afraid of my dad too. I'd be like, let me not play with him today.
Like I'll say this, like where my mom would yell and stuff, I would be like, Ray, you didn't yelled at me for the 20th billionth 11th time today. But if my dad was like, and I'm not moved, but what my dad said, just like God, if he ever told me I'm disappointed in you, and my dad he has, I that is just the worst news ever. I don't want to hear that. I'll go into depression mode and sobbing like they're like, "What's wrong with you? What happened? Who do I have to kill? Because who do I have to fight for you?" And I'm just like, "No, my dad said I'm disappointed, so I'm grieving for that because our with God as well as our natural father, we don't ever want to disappoint him. We want to allow what the seed that he placed in us, the seed that became us, to flourish and grow. We don't ever want him to hear bad news. Like, I don't know. I know God knows everything, but I never want God to hear bad news about me. And I know you
Mhm.
feel the same way.
Right.
And that brings me to my next question. Before we get into the business talk, we are women of God first and foremost, and this is how we pay homage or homage to God, creator of all heaven and stars, the universe, not the universe is God, but acknowledging that God, our Father who created the universe. I just want to clear that up because
Right.
I don't need nobody coming here. If you believe in the universe, okay, that's you. But I believe in the God that created the universe, the heavens and the earth
That's
to
right.
make that distinction.
Mhm.
But for your business, because I feel like, and I know this to be true, our business is not only our assignment but our ministry. So what is your assignment in your business for ministry?
Um, I believe that in the beginning, I didn't know what my assignment was. I thought I knew what my assignment was until God just really had to get me out of the place or the plan that I had for my life. And I realized that the plan was something far bigger than what I can ever imagine. So for me, I started this business 10 years ago. The reason why I started this business was to help people with their skin issues and hair issues. Me personally, I have my own little mini testimony. I was dealing with a lot of skin issues. I know it might not look like it today, but my skin was not always clear as it is right now. So my skin was like really horrible. I had a skin fungus is what it was, and it was literally spreading all over my back, my chest, up my neck, my face, everywhere. And I got really, really motivated to use natural products, natural herbs from the earth, because we all know that God created all the heavens and the earth and the trees and the herbs and everything. And I just really had like this unction to see if these natural herbs would actually work for the condition that I was experiencing at that time. So, with a lot of testing, with a lot of trial and error, I was just like, you know what? Maybe I can make my own soap. And that's kind of how I got started with making my own handmade soaps. And I finally came up with a recipe, and who is the better person than to test it on myself? This was
Mm,
before, way before a business idea. I was more focused on healing my skin, and that was the main focus. It wasn't never business. It wasn't to sell a product. It was strictly because I was dealing with an issue, and I was eager to get my skin clear. And so I just started, just praying about it, just kind of talking to God about it. Not really liking my skin, not really happy with how it looked. And I would say a couple months later, I decided to start making a soap. And the first time that I made the soap, of course, it was a fail because I didn't know what I was doing, but I was determined not to give up. So I just kept on practicing, kept practicing. Finally, I was like, okay, I think this is good. It don't look the greatest, but it looked like it's a piece of soap. It looked like it's pretty hard. I started using that twice a day on my skin, and in 3 months, my skin cleared up, and all I could think in that moment was, thank you, Jesus. Like, I finally able to clear up my skin. So, fast forward to make a long story short, a lot of people started asking me what I was using. They was familiar with how my skin looked before, and it raised awareness in everyone from my family to friends to my neighbors. They all start asking me about it. And I was like, oh, well, I just started making this little piece of soap, just at home. Everyone started telling me to sell it. And I just remember hearing that over and over again. And I was like, sell it. I was like, I don't know if that's for me. But one thing about God is he's in the details, in the smallest details, things that we think that we could never do. He's like, "No, I'm behind this." And I just remember, going to bed, and I was just thinking about the people that were telling me to sell it. And I just remember praying and saying, "God, show me a sign. If I'm supposed to do this, give me a show me a sign, send a dream, a vision, just show me." And literally within the next, I would want to say 2 days later, I had a dream, and God spoke to me in a dream about creating a product.
mm,
And I didn't know what that product was, but in the dream it showed me making a lot of products, making stuff. And that literally was the turning point for me. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a chance on it. I'm just gonna do it. I know that I've been making this soap, even though I didn't see the actual physical product in the dream. I knew that that was God speaking to me in regards to this soap, turning it into a business. So that's how Keep It Growing got started, from a dream that God literally put in my spirit.
Now, see that what you said right there is powerful. God gave you a dream about what you were gonna do, but with me, God has a sense of humor. He used anger for me to start my business because I'm trying to learn to grant stuff, and I'm new into it, so being new and making mistakes, I can vouch for you on that. And so I got tired of the tune in next week syndrome because that's all I was getting when didn't matter if I got the information for free or I paid, it would be like tune in next week. And then I'm like, you know what? I'm a read up on this. I'm gonna go to some classes who are not afraid to give me the nitty-gritty on how this came to be. And that anger, and it wasn't anger like mad or rageful, vengeful. It was the anger that's more like, oh, so this is what you're doing. I'm gonna do this. You're not like you're saying something, but you're not saying everything. That was like more of the drive that got me started with Write the Vision Plainly LLC. So when you said God gave you a dream, he said, "Hey, this is what you saw yourself mixing your oil, mixing your soap." And I can vouch for that because with me, a lot of whenever I was your ambassador, I'll say this short story. A lot of people on whenever I would jump on your lives, they would ask me basically, some of them would assume I had a condition, like they would assume like, "Oh, okay, well your hair was brittle, it broke off." And I'm like, "No, I started with healthy hair.
Hmm.
I grew my own hair. I used other oils and stuff, and I use protective styles. But I noticed when I use your hair oil, the long hair oil, that was the game changer because whether I braided my hair or not, I was still seeing fast results. My hair on its own is thick. It made my strands thicker. It made my hair stronger and last longer. Like I did not have as much split ends to trim off every time. I could go a little while longer without getting a trim. I didn't have like dry, itchy scalp. I didn't There was a lot of stuff that your oil cured for me while some people were looking for that sob story, but I refuse to claim, and I'm perfectly healthy. I refuse to claim a sickness just for sympathy to say, oh, yeah, yeah, totally my story. And yeah, this is in like three years, this is what happened to me. No,
Hmm.
I've been growing my hair for a while, and it took me 5 years to grow it like down my back and midway, and I've trimmed it over time. But yes, your long hair oil lengthened my hair, healthy hair, strengthened it, made it thicker. I went longer without trims. And then while I was massaging it in my scalp, I noticed that my nails, already thick and long, were growing longer and thicker. So I just started using it on my nails. Then I said, okay, I think Brittany's on to something here because I was putting sodas away and my nephew, ever the playful one, was playing around, and I noticed I heard my nail snap, and I was just like, well, Nails, we had a good run. We're gonna have to start over from the top because I know my whole nail is gone. And then when I saw it was just the top, I was like, oh, I can keep growing them. And then I had to tell you and I show you pictures. I said, oh my goodness,
Hmm.
we're on to something here. So after that, I started as your ambassador promoting this on your not just your hair, but your nails. And then I started using them on my eyebrows without makeup. My eyebrows are kind of thin for those that don't know.
Mhm.
I'm not ashamed to say it. So when I started using your long hair oil, it started like kind of replacing my makeup to where I didn't have to do my eyebrows as much, or tint them like I usually would. So that's when I was just like, you said, yeah, yeah, I use it myself. And then I'm just like, okay, let me see. Let me try it. And I'm a firm believer. I don't mention nobody else's products but yours because I know that yours work. And
Right.
I don't, if I've been using it for a while over time, that's when I'll speak on it. But with you, I didn't have to wait 6 months to a year to see those results to say, hey, this is the real deal. I saw it in a matter of weeks. And you say on your bottle, as little as 14 days, and that's the truth.
That's right.
That's the truth. And that leads us in our next question, which we kind of already sort of answered, but I'm going to ask anyway. why
Okay.
why did God tell you to start your business? I think we kind of covered that one. Unless you want to answer that one, what do you think?
um, I know that God, spoke to me about this business because I've always been passionate about just helping people. And I just really feel like, even from an early age, everyone always comes to me about health stuff. They're like, well, what can I do to lose weight? Or what herbs can I take for this? Or what herbs can I take for that? So in my family, I'm like the go to person that they will call when it comes down to, like herbs and stuff, natural stuff, how to, detox your body, how to grow your hair, your nail, like everyone. I'm like the go to person for that. So I knew that that was something that God birthed inside of me from a very early age. And by me making my own products, that's my way of helping the community and helping people. Just like I dealt with the skin issue, there's a lot of people that experience hair loss. They experience, fungal issues, skin issues. And when we really think about it, the beauty industry, the hair care industry, just the beauty industry in itself is a $1 billion industry. And everyone is, on the hunt for the next best thing. What's going to clear the skin? What's going to grow the hair? And I just believe in using natural ingredients. I believe in being honest with people and just telling people up front, hey, it's natural. This is not a product that is going to maybe give you immediate results, but if you stay consistent, you will get the results that you're looking for. You will get clear skin and you will get longer, thicker, stronger hair. So I just believe that God created me to continue to share my story through using my products to continue to help others. So yeah.
I would this goes right into the next question of what's your favorite part of being a leader?
My fa-
And not so favorite part.
okay.
I'll let
My
I know the stories. I just want you to say it.
okay. My favorite part about being a leader is seeing the joy that just comes on people's faces when they're on the fence about, using a product. And they're like, well, I didn't use a ton of products. I don't know what makes yours different. And I'm just like, well, I got God in mind. God is in this. I can't speak about nobody else's product, but I'm a firm believer that my hands are blessed because I try to live right and do right. And I feel like anytime you honor God first, He is going to bless your hands and He is going to
Yeah,
bless your business. So I feel like just me being a leader is just me being able to just have that joy and the happiness that comes when people say, hey, I use your product and it works. Just like hearing Brittney C's testimony. I have gotten a ton of testimonies like that, and it just blows my mind. You know, I'm not numb to it because every time I hear a testimony, it's either gonna make me cry, or it's either gonna make me laugh, or it's just gonna make me feel proud of the fact that I have been able to create something that people can actually get results from and really be happy and be more confident in the person that they are becoming. What do I like the least about it? Being a leader, sometimes it can be challenging because, you know, anytime you have a business, it's like you're going to have your good days, and sometimes you have to overcome challenges. It could be meeting deadlines. I remember like last year around the holiday time, I did not have much help. The help that I had, we had some team players walk out, or they just
No.
decided that they're like, oh, well, I'm gonna do this, or I got another job, or whatever. And there's moments where I have to pick up the slack. And it's like, I'm
You?
I'm talking about I up late trying to get packages, trying to do labels, trying to fill bottles. I mean, it's a lot of work sometimes. So,
It Oh, okay, so, y'all hear that? Y'all thinking that, "Oh, I just got my LLC, my INC straight off the press, and I'm just waiting for the dough to roll in, and I ain't gotta do nothing." This is work.
it's
You heard
definitely
it from
work.
Brittney Rich. Work.
It's work.
We go to work every day. It's just not sitting, it's not a 9 to 5. Sometimes we are up late. And when we're not live at that time, I know it's God and the angels telling me like, do this there. I'm sending you a creative idea. Put that there. Put that there. Do this. Do that. Change your concept. Okay. Well, you did this and that worked. But if you keep doing this for the next 6 months, people are gonna get burned out on it. So change it up. Do this and do that. So I want the people to know that some of the jokes have the truth in them. Like how there was one meme that was floating around that said, I used to work 9 to 5 as a worker, but now I work 24/7 as a business owner. Yeah. But
That's true.
setting your schedule and getting breaking away from a boss and you becoming one. I don't like the term boss. I like the term leader because from my experience, a boss is a dictator from their office that you never see, but they demand that you do your work. Mind you, they don't know how to do your job, but they
Hmm.
love to tell you how you're slacking on doing your job.
Hmm.
They ain't never had to, if you work in the call center like I did, they ain't never had to pick up a phone and deal with a rude customer over the line telling you what they ain't gonna do and you need to look up my account. Well, if I could just have, nah, I'm a regular, I call, you should know my number. Yeah, they don't see that. But a leader who has been where you are and worked their way up, they know it. And then the only thing that they you would have now as a leader versus what you didn't have as an employee is the power to say no and the power to escalate things that get out of control, and also the power to defend and come to the rescue of your worker, because some people get like that. Your worker is incompetent, they don't know what they doing, and you have the power to say, such and such has been, yeah, they knew, they just started, or they've been working with me for 5 years. You will respect them.
Right. That's true.
So so my next question is, what is in the need of the market for your business? And here's what I'll preface this to say. You and I are both in an oversaturated market in our fields. Mine is grant writing slash nonprofit slash charity slash giving. Yours is beauty and hair. So, in other words, how do you stand out with your market? Yeah, hair oil is the same. Yeah, when you go to the beauty supply, I went the other day and I see it. There is a row, a section dedicated, an aisle, if you will, to all types of oil, all types of
Yes.
shampoo and conditioner, all types. So in this oversaturated market, how do you stand out?
So, like you said, the beauty supply can be overwhelming, but how I stand out is just like, you kind of spoke of earlier about how the hair oil actually was helping to grow your nails stronger. Your nails were already long, but it just added that extra barrier to basically keep your nails harder and longer and stronger. So, with my
And
hair
it grew
oil,
fast. It grew fast. I just want to throw
and
that in
grew
there.
fast too,
Yes.
faster. My oil is not just a hair oil. It can be used in a lot of different ways, multiple different ways. Not only do we use it for hair, but it can be used for your nails, for nail growth, for eyebrows, thicker lashes. It even can be used on your pet. Now, what oil do you
Wait a
know?
minute. Hold on. Fido can benefit too?
I'm talking
What?
about your pet. Woof woof. Yes.
Beethoven
So
say, bring it here. I need
safe for your pet. I had a dog. I don't have a dog anymore, but I used to use it on my pet all the time. He had sensitive skin, and what I would do is I would take a couple drops, I would rub it in my hands, and I would apply it all over his coat, and it would keep his hairs soft and silky, and also dandruff free and tangle free. So if you have a furry pet, you can absolutely use the oil. It's safe for everyone, whether you are a woman, man, child, or if you have a pet.
Oh, I want to add this. So, so they got flea medicine. So, does it protect against fleas as well?
It definitely does. It definitely protects against fleas and ticks. It basically, the smell of the oil, it's not an overpowering smell, but pests, they hate the smell. So when you put it on your pet, it's going to keep ticks and bugs and stuff away from your pet.
Y'all hear that? So cancel your monthly subscription for flea medication for your for your dog and get you some long hair oil. And for the men, I want to talk about the men. I want to talk
Mhm.
about the men. The men who have it's a struggle. And I know it's a rite of passage. Like you got to have this really thick beard.
Mhm.
Not I'm not trying to say that units we putting you out of business, but we might be with this long hair oil because the men who like always they go to the barbershop because the barbershops are like I don't want to say they're magicians now, but they are doing some things like I saw like the men that are balding, they get the unit and they just like, okay, and it
Mhm.
looks real and it lasts for months. And they can shampoo and do whatever they need to do with their hair looking good. Then, I saw where this guy who had a very patchy beard, they shaved it off and they glued him on a fake one. So you mean to tell me these men can kind of save a little bit more change? Cause your girl has been winning date night and you didn't spend $500 at the barbershop trying trying to hide the baldness. You mean to tell me they can get a full thick beard by using your long hair oil?
That's right. Those
I
days
mean,
are over. You hear me?
so y'all hear that, men, ladies who have men that yeah, get this. What's coming up? The holidays are coming up.
Mm-hmm.
We just got out of September. This is October now. With the holidays around the corner, like Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's, do him a favor and get him this. You know you've been missing date night because y'all can't go because just like you spending $500 on your hair, nails, and all that, he's spending $500 at the barbershop doing the same thing and making sure he get an outfit together. So y'all can bring back that quality time, that good QT. Also,
Mm-hmm.
praise the Lord while you do it.
Yes.
And get you some long hair oil. But just to kind of wrap up, I have a few more questions, but
Okay.
um I would say I would also go as a saying this. And for you, Britt, in a oversaturated market, because again, your hair oil is not like it's different from the others. But because it's hair oil, people might look at it and walk by it, and that's cute, it's oil, but I like the oil that I have or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us, including myself, we had to do trial and error to see how much we can put, how much we can't. But the thing I love about your long hair oil is um you don't have to trial and error. It just is. All you got to do is apply it and use it. It's not going to keep your hair hard cuz I have done that, been a tester of oils. I have oils that made my hair hard for a few weeks and then it started making it soft because I kept using it over and over and over. I
Mm-hmm.
developed a wash routine and stuff.
Right.
Or if I didn't, some of the oil that I use I'm using it regularly, but I have to it's like if I don't wash my hair frequently, and I mean like not once a week or every other week, but I mean every few days, it's gonna make my hair sour, my scalp
Mm-hmm.
sour. So now I have to put even, I'm using the product, but now I have to use even more products to make sure the oil does its job by putting it in and stripping it out and then putting it back in.
Right.
So what I love about your oil is it's lightweight. You don't have to go through that ugly trial and error phase.
Mm-hmm.
You can see results in as little as 14 days. But just to wrap up, because you schooling us, you giving us the business about your business, and I really appreciate that. Um, I would say even in this oversaturated market for oil, yours stands out because it does more than one thing. I don't remember oil not being multi-purpose, but you have some people that are mixologists when it comes to their oil.
Okay.
Oh, we lost Brit. Where'd you go?
Did
I
we?
guess you'll be back soon. Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but we can't see you.
Okay.
I don't know if you accidentally turned off your camera.
Oh, for some reason, I just it went to a black screen.
Well, we can hear you.
Okay. Hopefully, it'll come back in a second.
Oh yeah, I guess it will. But for now we can hear you.
Right. Okay.
And what I was getting at is in this market for what you're doing, yes, there's a lot of hair oil. I was saying that some people are mixologists. They will get like 10 different oils and mix them all together and get somewhat of a decent result like the long hair oil. But yours, I noticed, I don't have to mix it with no other oil. I don't, it just is. You
Mm-hmm.
can um you can also add it to your moisturizing products to keep more of the moisture in there and it acts as a growth. hair growth because you put it in your conditioner or whatever. So your hair will continue to grow so long as you're either doing direct application or from the oil itself, or if you're putting it in your products and using those. So yeah, I have seen all types of amazing results whenever I do it. But my next question is, in your life right now currently, what's
Hmm.
going on and what's next? That's if you want to share. I know, like I said, off of offline,
Hmm.
we do have a relationship. We are friends. We've been to each other's houses. You know, we do have a relationship outside of online. And
Right.
so I know what's going on, but girl, I'm not about to do that to you. Not here. But I just want whatever you feel comfortable with. Like what's happening now and what's about to happen later.
Well, right now, I am just trying my best just to be spirit led. And before I make any type of decisions, I always just go to God in prayer and just ask Him first. God, I just want you to lead me. Like, what's next for my life? What do you want me to do? Like, what's the next chapter? And before I wasn't always consulting with God, it was just me doing my own thing. But I realized, God is in everything. So we want to first acknowledge Him and simply ask Him when it comes to business or whatever it is that you're doing in your life. God, what is it that you want me to do? What is it that you want me to say? Where do you want me to go? Like, what's next? So, I can't really just fully just answer that question, but the one thing that I do know that I want to do, hopefully, if God say the same, is have a digital product. Um
Oh
and with
no, you
that being
will.
said, I know I haven't like put it out there yet, but I am working on a hair guide ebook. So that's like the next thing that I'm currently working on that you guys can expect from Keep It Growing All Natural Products. So you can have like a guide on how to care for your natural hair.
So there's grants for that, but we'll talk more about that later.
Okay.
I might post what grants are available for publishing and distribution like that. But for right now, yeah. I'll say this. That's great because you have been doing physical products for a while, and so to pivot to digital, one that um tells you like what you need to do and maybe how to use the oil, yeah, people would, I believe that's a good pivot and people will love it.
Hmm.
And lastly,
I believe so too.
lastly, do you have like any final words to say or discounts you want to share, that like if you have a sale that's going on currently or one that may happen in the future? Because for our listening audience, for those that toughed it out through this and are still watching, although your screen went dark for whatever reason, but again, a devil, whatever he trying to do, it ain't work, obviously.
Not gonna
But
happen.
ain't gonna happen.
Um, so I do want to say, just final thoughts, just from one business owner to another. I just want to say thank you for allowing me to, share my story. And I just really, when it comes down to like business and things of that nature. I'm just so happy to partner with other women that is trying to do something positive for the community. So I really admire the things that you do as well. We need more grant writers. Like we need people that are educated that can help us. And I just feel like with me having a business, like, and you're doing grants, that's a partnership in itself, because with business you need money, you need capital. So yeah, just want to say thanks for all that you do as well. As far as discounts and things of that nature, I'm always running discounts. I'm always doing specials, whether it's free shipping, whether it's um,
That's true.
I was doing like $5 Tuesdays where you can get, certain bars of soap for $5. Currently, right now, we do have a sale going on to where you can get a custom loaf of soap. So basically, what that is 10 bars of soap for $50. I am really, really encouraging people to stock up that way. Normally, our soaps range anywhere from $9 to $11. So it's a better deal if you get a custom loaf. A custom is anything that you can pretty much think of. If you like banana, we can do banana soap, avocado, lavender, citrus, man soap, whatever type of soap that you have in mind, we can make it for you.
Oh,
Um, yeah, so we do have
y'all
a
hear that?
website, and you can find our long hair oil, the oil that we were talking about, and you can also find our soaps on our website. This is what
Hmm.
our oil looks like.
This is the long hair oil that Brittany was talking about. See, y'all, it's super duper cute.
Yes.
Super duper cute. And this is made with rosemary and amla. Did I get it right?
Yes, Amla. Yes.
I have been butchering. Okay, so I got it right, but I have been butchering this word. My bad.
It's okay.
But and 26 other ingredients, herbs. Now, I don't know how it comes to be. I just know that it works. And I got the cute bottle, but she also has the bigger bottle for the long hair oil. This is the 2 ounce, and I believe the 4 ounce is the bigger one, right?
Yes, that's correct.
This is what I have been using on my eyebrows, my hair, my ends, my nails, and it's healthy. I just made it last a little longer. With my nails, I saw that my nails kind of grow slow, but with this oil, it made them grow a little bit faster than what I usually see. I had to keep filing them. It was annoying, but in a good way. So, yes, this is the long hair oil. Also, this one that I have from um Brittany, it doesn't have a label, but this is the rosemary and clove leave-in conditioning spray. It smells so good. I also I go a while in between washes with my hair. I know I gotta get better at developing a wash routine, but I
Mhm.
will say this with this leave-in conditioning spray, it acts like the long hair oil where it is
Yes.
growing your hair. There's not a label on this, but is I'm just describing what it is. And with this conditioning spray, in between washes, what I notice is like my hair can smell bad, but just in between, I'm not going a whole nother of an extended more time, an extra long time without washing my hair. But what I notice is on the times that I don't have time to wash my hair, this cuts the stink just just for a few days or for as long as you need it, so
Mhm.
long as you're using it. But what I've noticed is this, it smells good, it refreshes your scalp. If
Mhm.
you have like itchy dry scalp, this is refreshing it. You can use it. I prefer to use it on wet hair, but y'all, as y'all see, my hair is dry. I went from a French roll to a French braid, and I
Mhm.
have been using this ever since. So y'all, I really love how this smells. I love how the long hair oil smells. It's a very good scent. And also, dare I say, men, you can use it on your beards because men always using some kind of like conditioning spray or whatever. So
That-
yeah, get you some rosemary and clove leave-in conditioning spray.
That's
And
right.
also get you some long hair oil. Get
Get
you
that
some.
long hair oil, y'all.
And are you running a special now? Or like, even if you're not running a special now, whenever you run your next special, you can
Mhm.
get it. It's not like she's asking for an arm, leg, and a thigh, and maybe a kidney somewhere. This is very affordable. So get you a couple bottles. Ladies, treat your man.
Hmm.
Give him this.
Right.
You've been complaining about that dry, flaky beard, that patchy beard. Get him some of this and get, like, you will love it. You will love the scent
Yeah.
and it lingers. So you will
L-
love this. Get
Let
it
me.
for ladies. Get you some. Um. Oh, another thing that Brittany didn't mention that I will is, like, you getting older. You might see some gray hairs, some little whiskers or whatever. This slows down so long as you use it regularly. It slows down the progression of gray hairs. It slows it down
That's
and it
true.
reverts it. So so yes, get you some long hair oil. Get
Get
back healthy.
get the
Healthy,
long hair
healthy
oil,
hair.
and let me add to that. Get your own, women and men. Get your own. Get your own bottle. Don't be one of those people that's like, we're going to share. Because once you start using it and once you figure out that, hey, this is working, you're no longer going to want to share. You're going to be like, no, that's
Right.
my bottle.
You
What's wrong?
don't get him like the big one and be like, let me just I just need to use a little bit.
Hmm.
Before you know it, it's your bottle. So if you know you're gonna use a lot of oil, get this is just what I have right now is the 2 ounce. I I like the 2 ounce because I have more control
Hmm.
with the dropper, and I'm gonna show you what the dropper looks like. But you can get the 4 ounce, but yeah,
Hmm.
this is a dropper for it. It's, as you can hear, this is glass.
Hmm.
So high quality product that lasts. The shelf life is a lot longer because it's made of glass. How many times have you had to kind of feel, bogged down by the timeline because if you don't use this oil in 6 months because they made it from plastic,
Hmm.
and then it's just like you just like, I'll just throw it away, whatever, because I don't want to be bound by this timeline. With this, you don't have to worry about this.
That's right. You don't.
Made out of glass and it lasts longer. It has the same scent, the same aroma. I love it. I get compliments every time I go out. Some people want to know, like, what perfume is that? But it's a long hair oil.
That's right.
So if you are looking for a really good scent, a product that helps your nails grow, your eyebrows, your hair, your beard, keeps the ticks and fleas off Fido so you can drop that medication subscription and keep the fleas and ticks away. And I'm pretty sure it does the same for cats, but we can only vouch for dogs.
Right.
But, get it for your pets, get it for your child,
Hmm.
your husband, your spouse, your boyfriend, girlfriend. Get you some. Get you
Right.
some. You won't regret it. And I wanted to make my announcement as well. So I recently moved my some of my courses to Udemy. And for that, some of the individual courses that I put on there are going to be, for the full month of October, only $37. But the course bundle is gonna be, I'm debating on that being a lot lower than it's been. So I might make that one 137. So every course on there that I upload, I'm having like some technical difficulties with that since last night. I am working on it to correct the situation. However, if it takes too long or if the issue continues, I believe it won't, but in the event of, I'll just move everything that I just mentioned for Udemy to November and try again. But it's still going to be the same discount where the main course would be the main bundle package would be 137 and each individual course would be 37. So
Okay.
yeah, that's my little announcement, my discounts, what I'm doing, and this is because I created Essential Grant Academy. And you might have heard it if you've been listening to Essential Grant podcast. So
Mhm.
what I do on that is just what I've been doing on my YouTube channel, giving you that free grant information that gets you unstuck. And then I give you the option of if you want to learn more and um purchase my courses and things like that. I still do live workshops um with Score Houston. So that's for me on this end. That is a special announcement that I have. That is a discount. You heard it here first. And I will make the announcement on that later. But until then, Brittany, if there's nothing else you have to say, I can go ahead and close it out.
I just want to say thank you again for having me on as your guest. And you guys go out there and get those course books. That way you can be successful in your business because it works. Okay. It works. Get that funding. It works. Okay. But
Oh,
thank you again, Writing Visions.
oh yeah, you're
Um,
welcome. And
love you.
to add on to what you're saying, I love you too. To add on to what you're saying, I was gonna say this. Me and Brittany both are millionaires in the making. We have so many great ideas that we're putting into fruition. Don't let like the background or the aesthetic or what we're saying put that on you to where you're like, they just, you know, they don't know what they're saying or this and that and the third. You will miss it. There has been plenty of people that have judged us before hearing our story, seeing what we do in our business, and they have missed out on what me and Brittany truly bring to the tables as both individuals, women of God, and together as a team. And I don't want that to be you.
Hmm.
So we are dynamic women. We will keep doing this we will keep doing this unto the glory of God, but also with our obedience, putting this out here for you, letting you know that, hey, God already told you to start that business. It's time. Now is the time to do it. Now
Hmm.
is the best time to get started. So if you need help navigating that, like how to start your business, how to put God in your business, what you need to do, me and Brittany will help you. So all you gotta do is reach out and say something, tell them.
Yep.
But I heard you tell me, Brittany, and I wasn't trying to talk over you, or I apologize, but I heard you say I love you, and I'm like, I love you too, girl. I love you too. But
Yeah. Thank you
we'll go
so
ahead
much.
and we'll go ahead and end it here. You're very, very, very welcome. But yeah, with the more of us that come out together and spread the word, yeah, and don't worry, there'll be chapters on this one. But yeah, we are doing our part to let everyone know, like, hey, this is what we're up to. This is what's going to happen. And no, where we started is not where we're going to end up. So guys,
Mhm.
I hope this interview with my special guest and my friend Brittney Rich, founder of Keep It Growing All Natural Products, founder of Long Hair Oil and rosemary leave-in conditioning spray, and all things all natural soap, including the man soap. I heard it smell good. So I can't wait to
It
get my hands on
does.
it. So
I
yeah,
got
just
you,
support
sis.
us.
I got
Thank
you.
you, sis. Thank you, sis. You had me with this. I know you got me with the man. So I mean, now if they want to leave it all for me to buy from you, you got a long time customer. but
Okay.
but y'all get you some hair oils, your long hair oil, your conditioning spray, your man soap, and also follow us here. Brittany is at for YouTube, you're at South American Brie,
South
right?
American breed.
And on Lemonade and TikTok, you're H Town Soap, right?
Sound soap. Yes.
And your email, not your email, your website is kind of long. I know
Yeah.
it's like keep it growing products, all
Yes.
that, but I made sure I put it in the description so they can check you out. This is a legitimate business. This
Yes.
not this is a very legitimate business that sells legitimate products made by hand, organically, the right way,
Hmm.
and made to not only improve the health of your skin, but get rid of some of that fungus or whatever that you had. You heard Brittany's story. So, yeah, go ahead, y'all. Invest in each of our products, and we will see you on the next one.
See you next time. Thank you. Love you guys.
Love you.
Bye.